Hello folks, how is it going? I just wanted to jump on to test this kind of new setup that I've got going on here. I've got these, they're in-ears basically. They've got a pack that I'm got on my belt, and I get, instead of wearing these big headphones that are connected all the time, I can just wear these, and they sound pretty good. It isolates all the sound, and trying to get the guitar and the mix going so that it's balanced and sounds good. But the main thing is that I'm not going to be wired to anything. I'm waiting on a wireless system for the guitar. It's a new system that Sennheiser's come out with. It's very small, and apparently it works very well. It's not a digital system, it's an analog system. So in an environment like I'm in here with all the Wi-Fi and stuff, it supposedly works well. Because I did try another Line 6 one like a while back last year, and it kept cutting out because of the frequencies in the room. So once I get that Sennheiser set up, the wireless, then I'll be completely wireless. The headphones, mic, and the guitar, so I can move around a lot better and do gear demos and whatever it is that I'm doing a lot easier. Because when you've got a cable and you move your chair around, the cable's going with you. And when I had the headphones, that was hooked up, so it was just a big mess. So I wanted to jump on and do a quick test, and because it sounds really weird in the headphones when you've got these things. So let's see. Got a few people jumping in. I wasn't planning on having anybody jump in actually, but that's cool. Got Dan of New Jersey, or I think that's, yeah, Ben. Ben, how's it going, man? How was your rehearsal? No, you had a rehearsal tonight, I think. R2, what's going on? Yeah, it's I haven't put this guitar down since I've gotten it. I've got it last Sunday, and I'm sad. Well, not sad to say that I haven't played any other of my guitars, but it's kind of spoiled me because it's that good for me anyway. And anyway, I like it a lot. Let's see, Ivan Carter's in here, Todd Flowers, Zach Thong. Who else is in here? Had a few of you in here. Cool. Thanks, Ben. Yeah, so I'm just, and the other thing that I don't know if you guys have noticed, but there's a Friedman in the room now. And so the story behind that was, I didn't set up my stand here to put my iPad, so it's a little weird. So I'm following the chat on here. The story around the Friedman was, I liked my Mesa. I kept the Mesa cab, but I went to Cosmo the other day to pick up a few other things, a couple of pedals that I wanted to try out. But while I was there, I noticed that they're having their big liquidation sale, because every end of March area, they do a big inventory of the store, and then they basically, the next, I think the whole month of April, they put a bunch of stuff on liquidation because they're trying to move some stuff that might have been sitting there for a while, or they're getting some new stock and they're trying to move that. So while I was there, I noticed that all the Friedman stuff had been, marked down quite a bit. Like this amp was knocked down by $900. I'm like, holy shit, that's awesome. And not that I didn't like the Mesa, but the Mesa, I was having a real hard time getting more of that, how do we explain it? Not classic rock sound, but just pure, not so saturated sound, because the Mesa does that saturated stuff really well. Like heavy stuff is amazing, but I couldn't get it dialed in exactly how I wanted with the kind of classic rock sound. So I brought the Mesa into the music store, and I said, how much would you give me on a trade? Because all the Mesa stuff was not marked down, so they were still selling that amp for like $2,600. So, and this amp, they had it knocked down by $900. So I had a trade for trade option. So basically, no money out of my pocket. So I did it, because I had thought about getting this amp originally, but I figured the Mesa might give me more options and all that. But quite honestly, it just, I didn't use half the options that were on that thing, and I couldn't get the sound dialed in exactly how I wanted it. So then I picked up this amp, and then now I'm in my zone as far as the sound and everything. And this thing is a beast. This is the Runt 50, and I'm using the aux box with it, and I'm attenuating it. I think it like halfway on the attenuator here, and that thing is barely pushing any volume as far as, like, it's so loud, but it's an amazing sound. So I'm quite happy with it. I'm gonna probably do a video just on it so that I can come and kind of run through. I'm still kind of learning it. It's not a very complicated amp, to be honest with you. It's a 2-channel amp, and the way it's set up, it's pretty easy as far as controls, and the sounds you get are what they are. And then I had to dial in my pedals. The pedals that I'm using obviously are the ones that you've seen. I'm using a compressor, an EP booster, and in the effects loop I'm using a chorus now, and my EQ. And today I just picked up the Keeley Caverns, so it's like a reverb and delay together. I was using the MXR carbon copy, but I wanted to try this one because it had reverb, and this amp doesn't have any reverb, so I wanted to kind of put that into the system and see how that works. So when I picked up these in-ears, I had to go pick them up today. I grabbed that, and the music store I deal with up in Barrie is really good, so they let me take stuff, and if I like it, I keep it. If I don't, then I can bring it back, no problem. So let's see what we got. Ben says the rehearsal was good, all set for Saturday. Oh, okay. Yeah, Alex Radford's in here. Cool. Yeah, you're playing Saturday, Ben. That's awesome. And you say you still can't believe I'm playing at a pot store at 420. Is that where you're playing? A pot store? That's cool. Todd Flower says, don't mind me, Brian. I'm just drooling over your heart. Well, don't drool too much. You're going to get yourself all messed up for nothing. Alex, sounds like fun, Ben. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to run through a few things. Like the clean sound on this amp is really cool too. So if I go to the clean channel, oh, sorry. Let me just. Hold on, I'll tune real quick. Let me shut this down for a second. I haven't changed the strings on this guitar, so I've been playing the strings that were on it. I've been playing it all week, so it's getting its fair use, that's for sure. No pun intended with the copyright stuff. Fair use. Hold on. Yeah, it was a little flat. I'm very impressed with this guitar as far as staying in tune, though. Usually with Les Pauls, you gotta find that sweet spot, and you sometimes struggle with that G string. And this one has been pretty good. And you'd expect it, I guess, to be pretty good at the price that you sell these things. All right, let's see what that sounds like. So, and what you're hearing now is basically the clean channel with a SMEER Riot pedal, it's called. It's a distortion pedal. But I've got the distortion knob on that set pretty low, so it just gives you like just a little dirt. And you can really control it with the volume. That's what I like about this amp too. It's very dynamic, so just controlling your volume can... So yeah, so if you want just that kind of just distorted, but not crazy distortion. Then if you go to the channel 2, which is the, I guess, gain channel on this amp, you get more gain. It's not crazy though. It's not like, I could probably put an overdrive pedal in the patch and run it on the gain channel to really push it if I wanted to, but right now that's, I'll let you hear that. Something like that. I haven't played that for a long time, so. Still of the Night. I don't think I know. I don't know that one. Kind of know it in my head, but I don't know how to play it. Sorry. Yeah, the Friedman JJ20 is supposed to be really cool. I don't know when that's going to be out though. They haven't. They said like late summer, I think, and it's probably going to be pretty pricey at first. So, but it is a cool amp. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Hey, Showman Blues, what's going on? Didn't you get it? I think Showman, I think you're the one that got a Friedman guitar not too long ago, if I remember correctly. But I think that's what you said. And if it is you that got it, how do you like it? I really like mine a lot. The Friedman stuff is really good as far as guitars and, well, everything they do. They seem to be doing a good job. Let's see. What copyright law could we break tonight? Then try. What is this? Blues backing. Oops, sorry. I don't know what this is. Might be loud. That was fun. I get into it. Sorry, guys. Let me get let me get back to the chat. Kind of lose where I am sometimes. That's a good thing, though, right? We got a few new people popping in, I think, since I last looked. Let's see. Rick Hefner, how's it going? Good to see all of you guys here. Thrash is in here too. 420 Boogie pre-party with Groove Fetish and no cab. I'm not sure what that means, brother. Sorry. Let's see. Who else we got in here? And we got some... Janice, how's it going? Just bailed on Eric. How come? I didn't know Eric... Is Eric on? I didn't know he was on. That's weird. Okay. Well, sorry about that. I'm just testing and jamming and doing some stuff, so I figured I'd press the live button. That way I can actually see and hear what it sounds like after the fact. And I kind of like these little in-ears. They're working well for me, but I'm not sure if it's just they come with different fittings for your ears, so I'm gonna have to try the other fittings. They're okay, but I don't know if they fit exactly right. But they're not bad. They kind of isolate everything, and you really get into the music and you hear everything. And the way that I balance it out with my mixer, I can set all my levels appropriately, and it's pretty cool. It's the first time I've played with in-ears, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's see. Who else we got in here? Rick. Hey, Rockin' Dave Byron's in. Sounds great. Makes me feel like I'm back at Kingston Mines back in Chicago. Kingston Mines. That must be a blues bar, maybe? Don't talk to me about next. You see my today. I didn't see your vid today, Ben. I didn't see that, so I'll have to check that out. Something happened to your guitar neck. Let's see. Got everybody saying hi to each other. Rick Hefner says, that Friedman tone blows the mesa away. I don't know what you changed besides that, but big difference. Yeah, it's basically the Friedman, and obviously once I put the Friedman in, I had to retweak the pedals quite a bit because it's a whole different beast, so the EQ and everything. So I didn't have a whole lot of time with it. Obviously, I just picked it up on Monday, and I've been working all week, so I really only had like weeknights here to kind of get the tones down and get the settings. But I've gotten it to a place where I really like it, so I'm glad it's sounding good through the live feed as well. So that's a good sign. You sure know how to end the song. Yeah, I know, right? Just blink, you're done. You shut her off. Some of these jam tracks that you get, right, are just, I never even look at the time, and you get jamming on them, and you're past 5 minutes and it's still going, and then you look and the freaking thing is a 10-minute jam track. So I kind of like to pay attention to that. Yeah, and today I was hoping that they would have had that Sennheiser wireless guitar thing, because I really wanted to test that tonight, but apparently they're on back order because it just came out recently. So hopefully they get it next week, and then I can really be wireless in here. And I wouldn't run wireless. I'd still use my wired headphones and plug in the guitar wired when I'm recording. But when I'm doing these live streams or gear demos or videos and stuff, it's a lot easier to do without being hooked up with a wire to anything. You can kind of move around freely and you're not getting all messed up. So usually I have this iPad on a stand in front of me, which makes it a lot easier, but I didn't set up the stand. I'm still kind of... The other thing I'm doing this weekend, I bought these string swing guitar systems, so you put it on your wall and you can hang like 5 guitars on each system. Because I don't know if some of you guys, if you watch my live streams before Vegas, just before I left for Vegas, I had a Les Paul hooked up on one of the the hooks that I got in here, and the friggin' thing started coming loose. I just saw it come loose before, and then the whole thing kind of just tilted forward, and I was in front of it, thank God, because a Les Paul was on there, and I just grabbed it by the neck. I'm not sure if it would, yeah, it would have probably fell because it was dangling pretty good, and that Les Paul isn't light, so it would have probably pulled it if I wasn't there. So I took the guitars that are usually on these walls here that I'm looking at right now, I took those ones off, and this weekend I'm going to install that string swing kind of system where it's like a track and you put the things in like you see at music stores and stuff like that. So that's the other project for the weekend, is getting that all sorted out. And then once I get all that sorted out, then I'll have to clean up this room a bit. After you get so much stuff, and then you get cables everywhere, and so I'm going to do that this weekend. Just going through. Showman says, love your tone. Thank you, thank you. Cool, cool. That tone is out. I was almost thrown off by it. Okay. Jimmy T. What's going on? What's going on? Jason Wade, what are you doing, brother? You got my shirt on. Yeah, I got that in Vegas at the Guitar Center. We don't have, I haven't seen a Marshall shirt here. Every time I go to music stores and stuff, I look at their shirts and stuff. I never see a Marshall one, so I was lucky to get one at the Guitar Center. But I don't have a Marshall, so I didn't see a Friedman shirt, but I'm sure they have them. See, Showman's talking to Todd. I don't know if it makes sense, but the guitars sound like his amps. Yeah, you know what? Friedman guitars, because of their pickups as well, he makes his own pickups. It's hard to explain, but it's gritty, and at the same time it's super clear and powerful. Like they make really nice stuff, that's for sure. I actually was the only guitar that I played other than this R9 all week. I picked up the Strat for a little bit just because I wanted to test it with the Friedman, and it sounded amazing through the Friedman amp, and those pickups like that matched up so nicely. But I wanted to go back to the R9, so I didn't really play the others that much. But on the weekend I'm going to run them all through the amp and the setup to kind of look at how they all sound, because they all have different tones, right? They're all very different guitars. So then I got to get back to recording, because that's the thing. Once I've got my setup dialed in and everything, then I can start tracking the originals that I have written so far and start getting through that process, because I'm waiting too long. Then summer will be here, and in the summer I tend to do less recording because I'm out riding motorcycle or, just out doing stuff. So I've got to get back to that really soon. Rick Hefner says, well, you're on the right track, Brian. Well, thank you. Thank you. And we've got other people. Danny Allen, how's it going? Between streams. Yeah, I didn't know that Eric was streaming. That sucks. Oh, damn. Because I looked after Guitar Hack was done, and I didn't see anything in my schedule that said somebody was going live, because I always check if I'm going off of a different night that I'm, like Monday I have my regular show, but on the weeknights, if I want to test something like I'm doing tonight, I usually check before, and if I don't see anybody, then I'm clear, but I didn't know he was streaming. Oh well, I guess it happens. R2 says, I can't wait until summer so I can use my wireless outside. Yeah, I guess you could do that. But I don't know how good you're going to hear it. If your amp and everything's inside, you better have it cranked. Cool, cool. Jason says, that's where I got mine, Guitar Center. Oh yeah, Guitar Center has a lot of cool stuff as well, though. I was a lot of the like knickknacks and shirts and all that stuff. They seem to have a lot of that. So it was fun to go there and visit. Let's see. Rocking Dave says, hey Brian, I used to hang my guitars too. My other channels shows that can't really do that in the new house down here. Hurricanes will blow them away. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not a good thing if you're getting a hurricane running through there. How do I like the new R9? Did you have... Yeah, I sold... Well, if you watch my Monday show, I go over the whole details about how I got this R9. So briefly, I'll just go over it really quickly. Is I found a guy that was selling this one. This is a 2018 R9, and he's a collector, and he lives about an hour north of where I live. And he was selling it because he was kind of liquidating a lot of his guitars because he has a lot of them. And this one had been out of the case 3 times, so it's brand new. It still had the tags on it, everything. And he was asking, you know, fair price, still high, but it was fair compared to buying it new. I would still save like $1,500, almost $2,000, I think, by the time everything was said and done. So I made an appointment to go see him, and he mentioned in his ad that he might want to trade if, you know, I had an American, like another Les Paul, something that would be easy enough to sell for him. He might want to take it on trade. So I brought my standard. I had a Les Paul standard that had like a Mojave burst on it, type of look. It was a beautiful guitar. The top was like insane, really nice. But I wasn't gelling with it anymore because of the neck. I really like the 59 necks, like my traditional. I have a traditional as well, and it has a bigger, thicker neck. And I'm really kind of liking that style. So I was going to sell the standard anyway, so it worked out. So I brought it up with me when I went to see this one. The guy looked at it, and he liked it. And so he asked me how much I was going to sell it for. And I said, I'm probably going to ask for $3,000 for it, and then see what I get. So we worked out a deal. So he gave me pretty much what I was going to sell it for, you know, maybe $100 less or something, and took the amount off this, what he was selling this one, took a few $100 off this one. So at the end of the day, it worked out. So that's how that happened. Otherwise, I couldn't have got the R9 because all the music stores around here that were selling them new were all 7,500 plus tax. So you're looking, you know, $8,200, $8,300, and there's no way that I'm spending that on a guitar. Not me anyway, because I couldn't do that. So the only way I was going to get it was to find somebody selling it used at a good price and having to sell something of mine. So this worked out perfect because I didn't have to sell my standard privately, which is a huge pain in the ass for me because you have to put it on what we have. Like you guys have Craigslist down there. We have something called Kijiji, which is the same thing. You put it on there, and then you get tons of emails saying, you know, everybody's lowballing you, or, you know, they're not really serious, or they're wanting to trade all kinds of stuff. Even if you say no trades, it's still, so it's a real pain. And then you've got to, okay, we're going to meet up somewhere, and it's just, I don't know, it's a process. I would have had to do that, and I've done it many times before for other equipment. It's just this way I was able to just trade with this guy, pay him the difference for this, and I'm done. So that worked out really well. Showman says, I don't have the music vocabulary to describe it, but it's the tone I was looking for. His Dirty Shirley does that without reverb, so I used an Old Boss reverb to add touch to it. Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing here. This thing doesn't have reverb in it, so I picked up this Keeley Caverns 2 pedal, which has delay and reverb. So there's 2 switches on it. One side's the reverb, one side's the delay. And that's what I'm using here. And right now, tonight, I'm not going through my cab. I'm just going in the aux and into my interface, and that's what you're hearing. You're hearing a 412 simulated cab with an SM57 and a Royer 121, I believe, simulated through the aux. And the aux has reverb and stuff in it too, so I've got a little bit of reverb running through there, and then I'm running a delay on my pedal board. So that's what you're hearing. But yeah, it's awesome. Okay, R2's gone. I think he's probably gone now, but if you're not and you have to leave, that's no problem. Let's see what else. Just making my way down here, and cool. Jason grabbed me a Diet Pepsi and some chips. Yeah, it's pretty convenient that this deal worked out the way It did, that's for sure. Cool. Offered up Craigslist. I do offer. Todd says I do offer up, not Craigslist. Much better in my opinion. Offer up. Oh, I don't know what that is. We don't have that here. We used to have Craigslist. I think we might still have Craigslist. I don't know, but everybody here uses something called Kijiji. It's like a local buy and sell thing, and that's what we kind of use. And I guess you could still do it through Reverb if you wanted to. But I've never sold anything on Reverb, so I'm not really sure how good it is. Hey, Quentin James, what's going on, brother? Okay, let's see what other copyright law we can break tonight. And okay. The other great discussion I had tonight with, I was on the phone for like an hour and a half with, you guys have the IRS, we have Canada Revenue Agency here, so I had to log in, I had to make an account there, and then when we do our taxes, that's what, if we have to pay a balance, we go there and we find out what the balance is. Well, anyway, I don't go on that site to log into my account on a daily basis, so you know, I do it once a year, and I have my password and everything saved, and I went in, I was able to log in, but then they started this thing where they ask you security questions, and then, you know, the security question they asked me was, I knew the answer, and that's the answer I was putting in, but either I was typing it wrong or I was leaving a space or something, but you have 5 times to try it and they lock your account. Well, that's what happened. I put it in 5 times and then didn't have it, and they locked the stupid account. So then you got to get on the phone with these people, so you wait a half an hour on hold. And then once you get the person, all you want to do is just say, listen, I just need to know what my balance is, you know, tell me that and let me know how I can pay that, and then move on. You know, it should take all of 10 minutes. Well, no, your account is locked, so we need to run through all these steps, and they tell you all this security stuff. Anyway, an hour later, you've gotten your account back, and you can proceed with paying. And so yeah, it's, oh my god, what a pain in the ass that was. So anyway, that was another part of my evening, paying my taxes. That's always fun. It's like that. Brian, question of the week: how do you get by with that little Do you see the trap? You do see it. Oh, cool. All right. How do I get by? Well, I don't usually throw anything in there. I don't even know why it's in here. If I have any paper and stuff, it goes in a shredder that's over there. But that's funny. Watching you and Eric. Yeah, I didn't know Eric was streaming, Quentin. That sucks. I didn't want to interfere with his stream. So I know he goes live on Fridays. I didn't realize he was going live tonight. Rocking Dave says, Brian, are you a Mac or a Microsoft? I'm Mac. I'm all Mac. I've been Mac for... I used to be a PC guy when I started, when computers started coming into the industry, 96, 97. And I was a PC guy until 2004 maybe, around that time. And then I started because I was doing web design at that time, and I was getting more into graphic design, multimedia, video, and everything else, and music as well, as far as home recording stuff. And Macs were always like, every time I went into like, we did a lot of recording as a band, every time I went into a studio that was running Pro Tools or whatever, they were running on Macs. The ones that I saw anyway, and a lot of people, creatives that I knew, were all running them. So I made the switch back then. I would think it was 2004, I'm going to say, and I've been running Macs ever since. So But they have their issues too. I mean, they're pretty solid and they're great for the stuff that I do, creative stuff or whatever, you know, photography, video, and that stuff. They have the tools that I need and they run efficiently. I don't worry too much about stuff like viruses and malware and the stuff you would worry about on Windows. But you know, they're not perfect. I don't think anything is. You're gonna run into issues. Sometimes the hardware will fail. They're pretty solid, but you know, I've had the last laptop I had, the hard drive started going, so I had to bring it into the Apple store, and they had to change something on the actual the circuit board or something, and then you have to do a whole backup. So that it's not perfect, but for me, they've been working well. And plus, I use iPads and iPhones and stuff, so everything works within the system. So I just stick with it for now. If you're streaming though, and you really want to build a streaming machine, I would probably recommend you go with PC for that purpose, because PC seems to work better with some of the streaming software out there, because Mac really locks down their systems as far as if you download a OBS or something, OBS can't take advantage of all the stuff like your graphic card and your processor the way it can on a PC. So that's the only recommendation I would make there if you're in the market to buy a system and you're specifically looking to stream and nothing else, or do a little bit. A PC can do everything else. It's just that if you're looking at streaming primarily, I would look at a PC right now if I was, you know. But I'm doing it all on a Mac right now. I'm using a software right now that's streaming is Wirecast, and I use a couple of capture cards for my cameras, and it works fine. So it's just a matter of preference and what you like. Let me see if there's any other questions real quick. The new law on passwords is unworkable. Yeah. Well, I get the security stuff. It's just that sometimes, you know, you get somebody on the phone and you just want to do something very simple. You're not asking for anything else. You have all the information they're asking you for, your social security number and all that, and you give them everything they ask for, and they still run you through the whole rigmarole to try to get something done. Showman says, I've got a 5-gallon bucket that I have to empty. What are you putting in there, Showman? Yep, Matt cornered the music and art early on. Yeah, that's what it is. Rock and Dave says, I guess I'll have to go Mac. I just got a cheapo HP 15 laptop, so this is all new to me, but everyone says Mac is good for music, movie editing. Once you go Mac, you don't go back. Yeah, pretty much, man. But that HP 15 laptop, if it's loaded with some good, you know, enough RAM and a good processor and a good graphic card, you should be good to go with that. You should be able to do a lot of the stuff you're looking to do with that laptop. So don't necessarily run out and go buy a Mac, you know, unless you can't do what you're trying to do on that HP 15. Brad, what's going on? Ever late to the party? Yeah, that's Brad. Jimmy T. I went Mac, then I went back after it broke after less than 3 years. Yeah, like I say, man, it's a computer and it's hardware, and it doesn't matter if it says Mac or PC on it. They're all prone to have their issues. Sometimes you have no issues for a long time, and sometimes it's nothing but issues. But if you kind of know what you're doing with them and you can work around it, Apple's got a pretty solid reputation with that too. If you get something go wrong, you can bring it to the Apple store if you've got one in your area, and they're pretty good customer service and stuff. I find that part really good compared to other companies like that I've worked with or seen as far as the PC world. Gussie, hey, it's my Friedman buddy. Yeah, there it is. You can see it right there. Friedman Runt 50 is the amp that I went for. I looked at the BE50 Deluxe, but that thing was over $3,500, and that was a rebate because it was selling for $4,500 plus tax, and they had it on rebate or liquidation at the music store. It was down to $3,500 plus tax or something, but nah, that was no. I tried this Runt 50 and it did everything I needed, and it was, you know, price right. I did it even pretty much an even trade with my Mesa head for that, so that's why I did it. Let's see, Brad says, wow, okay, I'm lost. Guess I'll have to go back and watch the show from the beginning. What are you lost? What do you mean you're lost? With the amp thing? I didn't go over too much of the amp tonight. I'm just testing. I'm testing these in-ears more than anything tonight to see how they sound and if it's going to sound good on the stream, because what I hear in my in-ears is, you know, it's pretty good, but I don't know. From what you guys are saying, it sounds good, so that's a good sign. But I didn't really go over every detail of this amp, and I will do a separate video at some point for that. I will do a video for the R9, and I've got some new pedals to do as well. So there's just finding time to do everything, and I want to do something a little different than everybody else is doing. Like, you know, if you want a review of the Friedman Run 50, you can just type it in YouTube, and there's, you know, a ton of people that have already done that. So I'm not going to go through the same process that everybody else has. I'll just give like a quick rundown and my opinion on it, if anything. Let's see. Rockin' Dave says, thanks, Brian, for the info. Yeah, anytime, man, anytime. Jimmy T says, I do love Apple, but they also drive me crazy. Yeah, well, it is what it is. That jam sounded great. Thanks. Yes, speech is loud and clear. Well, yeah. The mic is working fine. Now I just want to try this track and guitar thing again. What do we got here? Okay. And battery's okay. What is Texas Shuffle? What's that? There you go. Little Jam-a-rooney. How's that? That was fun. Okay, let's get back to you guys here. What's going on? Did I miss something? Amp computer. Okay, cool. I'm back. Okay, speech is loud and clear. Guitar sounds good. All right. Shuffle, very cool. Overall mix sounds much clearer, more definition, backing track, all of it. I've only been here for 5 minutes. Good. Well, that's a good thing because I've really tweaked this system quite a bit, and getting the new amp I think is helping me get the tone that I'm comfortable with. And I find that with the Friedman amp anyway, I find that when you're ringing out chords and everything, even in a distorted tone, everything is very clear. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but like... You know what I mean? So I find the definition and the chords and stuff are a lot better with this amp. So that helps. Okay. I put it down. Let's see. Will, how's it going? Will Varela is in the house. Cool. The shoulders and head are into it. I think someone's really gotten it. Yeah, I love this R9, Brad. I haven't put it down since I've gotten it. Great sound and jamming, Brian. Thanks. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate the feedback on the sound and everything. Again, I'm just pretty much a hack on guitar. I'm just still learning. Yeah, I have a long way to go, and what I'm trying to do now is the whole cage system and how you can play the chords and on all the positions of the neck and all that stuff. I'm still getting my head around that. Once I get that down, then I think I'll start to work on a little bit more melodic phrasing and solos and things. Because right now I'm pretty much, blues and pentatonic and, the standard stuff that rock and roll guitarists usually get into. So I'm still, my goal is to really dive a little deeper every, after I kind of get something down, then I want to dive a little deeper and find out, working with modes and things of that nature to really build up the skill set a little bit more in my I guess, guitar vocabulary. Because it's a different thing for me, for sure. But I'm really enjoying it. I love playing guitar. That's for sure. And that's the main important thing, right? It's about loving playing, and that gets you to grow as a musician and to keep wanting to play and not getting bored and pushing yourself a little bit further. Because I can play the same thing over and over and over and get it to sound really good and then be happy with that. But if I don't push myself to try something I'm not very comfortable with, I think that it won't really help in developing and trying new things and growing. So I'm going to try to push myself a little bit more. In the last, I'd say in the last 4 months, I haven't really pushed myself. I've kind of stayed with what I knew and really worked on that stuff to get that, pretty much concrete in my head where I don't have to think about it and I can play and I can, I still screw up, but that's fine. But I'm a lot better than I was 4 months ago or 6 months ago. But I feel that I haven't really pushed myself to try some new things and get out of my comfort zone. So that's what I need to do more of. Absolutely. Hey, Terry's here. How's it going? Blasting out some awesome blues stuff. Yeah. And that blues stuff is all backing tracks that I get off of, I just go on iTunes and I type in guitar backing tracks and stuff and I get them there. Sometimes they get content ID flagged on YouTube and sometimes they don't. So speaking of that YouTube content ID stuff, on my live stream on Monday, I did it on purpose, is in the intro, not even the intro, where you guys come into the stream and it says stream starting soon, I play music on the back of that. And I played one of my own songs, SMEER, my band that I was with. I played the full song knowing that they would give me a copyright claim, and they did. Within an hour after the stream, it came in. So I disputed it, and it came back, and it was disputed by CD Baby, which is the people that are distributing SMEER through digital aspects like Spotify, iTunes and stuff, which is fine, and I signed that agreement with them. But it also, in there's a place where you say collect YouTube monetization, Facebook monetization, and all that stuff. So I called them and actually spoke to somebody about it, and I said, I don't want my music tagged or anything when it's on my channels. So if I'm on my Facebook page but there's no real easy way other than if I opt out of their whole system as far as YouTube and Facebook, then it won't get claimed. But that means anybody else that plays my music on their channels or podcasts or whatever, it won't get claimed there either. So then I looked at my history through CD Baby, and I saw my music is being played all over these other shows, podcasts and everything else, and they're getting content ID claims just as anybody else would. But some of it is actually collecting some revenue, which is pennies, like it's not a lot. So I'm still debating on whether I should just take that off that system and not worry about it, or leave it the way it is, because it doesn't affect me. It gives me a copyright claim, but it doesn't affect me at all. It doesn't affect my channel, and CD Baby told me that as well. They said, we're collecting money. If you're earning any money on that video on your own YouTube channel, it's going to you. So you can leave it the way it is, and we'll collect the money as we have been all along, and keep it that way, or you can opt out and then you won't get a copyright claim anymore for your own music. So still kind of weighing the pros and cons of doing that. And moving forward, any original music that I'm writing now and I'm going to distribute after, I'm going to go with probably DistroKid. And, I always register all my songs with SOCAN, which is like your licensing company in Canada. And in the US, that's ASCAP or whatever. So the songs are registered and copyrighted and everything. I own the rights to them, so I'm not worried about that part. So that's what happened there. But I was interested to actually get through the process to see where that would go and actually speak to somebody at the distribution company. Like if it was EMI sending the copyright claim, trying to talk to somebody at EMI and say, listen, what's going on, that'd be pretty much impossible. But with CD Baby and some of these other smaller distribution companies, you can usually get on the phone with somebody and go through the process. Chat's moving fast tonight. Yeah, well, I wasn't even expecting people to be here because I was testing these in-ears, and I said I'm just going to go live, and because I wanted to hear what the guitar and the new amp and everything sounded through the live feed. But thanks for jumping in, guys. That's really cool of you guys. Yeah. You like the new angle? Yeah, it's not really a new angle. It's just the camera that's on the back. So if I needed to show the amp or pedals and stuff, so it's just it's easier for me because if I'm facing that way, I get more noise in the pickups and stuff because of my monitors. If I face this way, I get less of that kind of noise. So I think when I'm playing or jamming or going, through some stuff, I like this setup better. If I'm just kind of talking and going through the chat and stuff, I can just, or if I don't have a guitar on me, I'd face the other way and just use my regular angle, which is probably what I'll end up doing if I'm doing that type of thing. The note definition is a trademark of Friedman's. Yeah. Well, every time I tried a Friedman amp and stuff, that was one of the main things. The other thing is that, when you get these amps cooking to where their tone and everything, and it doesn't take much. You don't have to play super loud to get that feel. You actually feel the pick dynamics and everything. It kind of feels like the amp is reacting to your playing a lot more than some of the other stuff that I've played with. So that I really like that aspect of it. Rockin' Dave says we're outside too this Saturday. Yeah, you guys play a lot of gigs outside, don't you, Dave? Because I've noticed when I watch your videos and stuff that you're often playing outdoors. So Well, we played a lot of outdoor gigs when we were playing. Not a, well, I shouldn't say a lot. We've played, festivals and things like that. They're always they're fun, but they're challenging depending on the time of day you're playing. I find that when you play outdoors, if you play at night, the sound is different. The air is different, so the sound is really a lot better. If you're playing during the day, it's a whole other sound, and it's just weird to me anyway. Even when I'm outside and you can just put music on outside, and you'll notice that at night it carries differently through the air. So I guess it depends. But yeah, running outside is a fun experience. As long as, your setup is okay. I played outside once, and we were playing a festival for, what was it? It was in Mississauga, Ontario, and it was this opening of the Palladium, which is a gaming place. And we were playing there, and there was I Mother Earth was there, and there was a couple other bands, but we were like in the afternoon. We didn't get any sound check. It was one of those things you jump on and hope for the best. And my God, the sound was just horrible. There was nothing that was mixed properly in the monitors. I couldn't hear the guitarist. I could barely hear the snare drum. And as a bass player, I need to get that snare. I played on the side of the hi-hats and all the time, and I always, locked into the drummer on that side of the stage, but I was on that side and I still couldn't hear what he was doing. That was a disaster. I didn't really enjoy that gig, but we all have them. We all have that type of thing. Because he says nothing wrong with the blues and pentatonic. No, there is nothing wrong with that. It's just, after doing it for, well, like I said, I started playing again in January 2018, December 2017, realistically. And that's where I went to right away. It was the blues, pentatonic, rock, and that stuff, which is what I'm very comfortable with. But sometimes I like to explore a little bit further than that to see if I can incorporate it in my style that I have now, which is pretty much rock and blues, but trying to incorporate some new things, melodies and things of that nature that I might not otherwise do. I don't play a lot in the major scale. I'm more of a minor scale guy. So now I'm trying to play more in the majors and blend both minor and major at the same time, and seeing how they work together. And playing a major scale for me is a little different when I'm playing through a chord progression, on 1-4-5 or whatever. With a minor, I find I can stay, let's say we're playing an A blues, I can stay in A for the whole run of, when you go to A, you go D, and you go to E, I can stay in the A. But when I'm playing in a major, when we switch to the D chord, I find I need to be moving into the D major scale, I guess, is that right? It's weird. It doesn't interact the same way, or I'm not hearing it the same way. So I'm trying to get more comfortable with that now. It's coming along. Showman says, I may have missed it, but how long have you been playing? Oh, well, I played music all my life, but like I said, I was a bass player, since I was a kid till, 2007 was when the band that I was with, when it ended, and then I kind of quit music altogether. At that point, I had been doing it for over 20 some years straight, playing, gigging, but as a bass player. Not that I didn't play guitar, like at home I had a guitar and I would write songs on it, but it was only just doing like basic, rhythm, basic open chords and power chords, never anything to do with scales or, leads or anything of that nature. That I only started doing when I picked up the instrument again, or just to get back into music again, which was only in December of 2017. And then ever since then, I've been concentrating on just playing guitar and becoming a guitarist and learning all the, aspects of that for this instrument. Because it's very different than playing bass, and you have to approach it totally differently. So I guess realistically, guitar-wise, like seriously, probably a year and a half. Yeah, about that, a little bit more than a year and a half. Dave says, once you know where all the notes are, you'll never be lost or confused. Yeah, well, that's the goal, and I know the notes of the neck. It's just that, you know, playing the cage system, playing like an A all over the neck, or playing an E, or playing whatever, understanding that system and being able to look and visualize it before I play it, that's where I want to get to. Because if I can see that, then I can actually create phrases and melodies around those, you know, that concept, and that's where I want to get. So that's what I'll be working on mostly now, moving forward, until I can get that down. Because I've got the pentatonics and the 5 positions and all that stuff. The other thing is working more with major scales and things of that nature, and less of the minor, because I've got the minor stuff pretty much down. All right, Ben, see you later. Oh, thank you, Terry. That's nice of you to say. Awesome. I'm just going to keep trying and see what happens. I do it for fun, and I'm not playing in a band or anything. I don't have any intentions of getting back into bands and things of that nature. I mean, I'm not opposed to going jamming with people and, you know, doing one-offs here and there, but to get into a full band situation again and gigging on a regular basis and doing that whole thing, you know, it would have to be the right situation, definitely, because it's, you know, scheduling and the way that things are these days. I don't know. It would have to definitely be the right situation to get back into that on that level. Right now, I like doing it here at home, doing some live streaming and recording my own music, and maybe at some point releasing it as a, you know, an EP or an album. And that I have fun with, you know, because I control the whole thing from top to bottom. I'm not dependent on, you know, somebody not showing up for something or not wanting to do something. Like, I don't have to worry about that stuff. You sound good. Oh, thank you. With new material, it's like I'm a beginner again. Yeah. Well, you know, there's stuff that I'm comfortable with and stuff that I need to work on. And then once I get more comfortable, I think it'll be a lot easier, but it's always like that. And Brad says, I will have to check one of my old videos. I use Creepy as a backing track. Yeah, that's fine. You can use the songs, Brad. I think you're just going to get a copyright claim, which is fine. It doesn't matter if it's a claim. It just says you're going to share monetization if you get any ad revenue. So don't worry about it. You can use all the SMEER stuff you want, man. The pro is you're being paid before being eligible for monetizing your channel. Plus, from those others, you're apparently posting your tunes. Yeah, that's trash. I know what you mean. If people are using the SMEER music in their own productions, and if they're making money on it, then it's good to have CD Baby collect that on my behalf, because, you know, that's a good thing, I suppose. But the other thing they told me is if somebody contacts me, let's say they want to use one of my songs, like from my band SMEER, and they want to use it in whatever, they can contact me directly as well, and I can release it. I can contact CD Baby and say, yes, release the copyright claim for this channel, I'm approving it. So you can make your own deals if you want to. Will says, show me the new axe, please. Okay. Well, I don't know, can you see it? And if I go too close, it's going to come out of focus because my lens is on manual focus and it's focused for the distance that I'm sitting at now. But there it is. I don't know if you can see that well. It's a cherry burst, very much like Jimmy Page type of style. It's got a really dark reddish type of wood in the back. This was the color I've always wanted on a Les Paul anyway, so it was very important to find that that color, and like everything lined up for this guitar. When I went to meet the guy and he opened the case, I was like, oh my God, that's the one. And then I picked it up and actually felt the neck, and I was sold. I was just hoping that he was going to take my standard on trade, because that was the whole part of the deal. And if he didn't do that, I probably wouldn't have been able to get this guitar, because he was still asking it, you know, over $6,000. So the fact that he took my standard on trade and I just paid the difference helped. But yeah, so I don't know if you can see it pretty good. It's got a nice flame top on it, but it's not crazy flamey. Like, it's very, obviously they make it traditional as much as, you know, like the 59s and 50s, where like the 58s really don't have a flame tops on them. And then 59, they started doing more of the flames. So it's hard to show you on camera, but hopefully you're seeing that. It's got the custom buckers, I think it's what it is, and the original wiring, and it's got something called high glue, which is the way they glue, and it resonates better. This guitar, if you play it without even plugging it in, it sounds acoustic. So you could even just, I was playing it I was sitting in the living room with it and just, you know, strumming some chords and stuff, and it's almost like you've got an acoustic. It rings out that much. This is just one solid piece of wood, like, for the body anyway. It's not like and it's, I guess it's about 8.7 pounds. So they really pick the best pieces of wood that have been, you know, dried out for a long time. And that's why you pay what you pay for these. They really go that extra mile with all this stuff, but it resonates amazing. Like, without even being plugged in, it just sounds, yeah, that's one of the first things when I picked it up at the guy's place. I just strummed a few chords. I'm like, oh my God, this thing resonates like crazy. And he says, yeah, that's what they're known for. You can probably hear it like through my mic on there. Right, so that's pretty cool. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of that. Right now I'll do a much better quick look and review on a different video just dedicated to this at some point. We just came to see the R9. Well, there it is. Okay, Rockin' Dave, let's see, Denny Allen. Is your wife a musician? No, my wife is not a musician whatsoever. She fully supports what I do music-wise, and I met her in '98, so at that time I was in the band SMEER, and she followed us, came to all kinds of shows. She worked the merch table, she helped with ticket sales, always 100% behind me. And if she wouldn't have been, obviously there's a lot of stuff that, you know, just wouldn't work out, obviously, because it's two different lifestyles. But yeah, she's awesome, but she's not a musician. I tried to get her to play guitar once in a while and try to teach her a chord and stuff, and nah, she's not into it. She loves guitar, she loves the sound, she loves the look and feel of them, but as soon as she tries to play a chord, she doesn't, I don't know, she finds it very hard, and she watches people play and she's like, I don't know how you guys do that. But you know, there's something in you that has to really drive you towards wanting to play guitar, because it's not easy for somebody who doesn't have a clue how to do it and picks up a guitar for the first time. You really have to have it in you to kind of really want to do it. And you know, she's into other things, which is cool. It's nice. Otherwise, I'd have to share my R9 with her, and that would be tough. Gussie, yeah, just showed you the close-up of the guitar. Like I said, I'll do a better video where I can actually, because right now, if I go too close to that camera, it's going to come out of focus, obviously, because the lens is set to this focal length here, so that's why it's staying in focus for that. But if I go up closer, it's just going to get blurry. So I'll do a better video for it. Everyone show us the guitar. Okay, going back. Will says, I started watching the SMEER videos. Very cool. Yeah, thanks, man. Jimmy Page style, fantastic. Yes, yes. dang it, I want one. Well, they're out there. It's just, you know, especially if you're trying to find one used, you just gotta keep looking and keep trying, and you know, you'll find it. They're out there, but they're not, you know, they're rare. Like to find that right one, and at the price that makes sense to you, because there's guys out there that are selling some of these used, and they're asking like more than what you can buy them new. Like, I don't know how if they're selling them at that price, like if they're actually moving you know, somebody's buying them for that. There must be a market for it, because there's guys that are asking like 10 grand for these guitars on Reverb and stuff. So, you know. You know what I should do? I should play a SMEER song, right? I never tried playing a SMEER song on guitar like all the way through. But what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna tune down to D. Let's do that. Let's just try it. Why not? All right, let's see if I can. And then I've got to drop down here one. Just bear with me, I gotta find the song. No, I don't want that song. No, That is SMEER, but that's not the song I'm looking for. I think it's this one. Let's make sure it's not too loud. I think the mix is wrong, but let me bring it. Was the music louder than the guitar? Let's see. Let's see what you guys say. If the music is louder, let me know if the mix is okay, and then I'll just restart. Claim coming. Yep. You got that right, brother. Is the mix okay, or was the sounds pretty good to me? Change string. No, I haven't changed the strings yet. Oh, you're talking to Jamal. Let me bring down the music was louder. Okay, that's what I needed to know. So I'll bring that down a bit. There you go. That was interesting. I haven't played a SMEER song in, oh my God, that must be, geez, I can't even remember last time I played that song. That was fun. This time, let's see. Claim comment sounded good, okay. Just checking. Jamal, how's it going, man? I think I'm going to get the aux box. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like the aux box a lot. And like I said in my message to you earlier today, if you can wait, might be a good idea to wait to see what the Boss amp top box is going to be like. I know it's going to be a little cheaper than the aux, and I think it has a few more features on it. So, but you know, you can't go wrong with the aux, in my opinion. If like what you're saying you want to do with it to attenuate your Marshall, and you get the extra features of going, you know, using the cab emulation and all that stuff, which is exactly what I'm using right now, by the way. I'm using a 412 cab emulated with a 57 mic and a Royer 121, I believe, is the other mic, so you can blend the two, and I have a little bit of room mics in the aux box itself, and that's what you're hearing. That's it. And then my pedals, right? You use whatever pedals in your amp. So yeah, you can't go wrong with it, that's for sure. Okay, more clarity from your turnstile this time, get. Hey, Bearded Blues Dude's in here. Aux or a Kemper, can't decide. I don't know much about the Kemper. I know about them from what people have put online and the reviewers and stuff, but I've never tried one personally, so I can't really give you my opinion on that. The aux I wanted, it worked for what I was trying to do, because I still wanted to use a real tube amp, and I didn't want to like load up a profile into a Kemper or something like that and then use the Kemper by itself to kind of emulate that profile. So I don't know enough about the Kemper to say yes, that would work very well or not, but the aux for me was exactly the feature set that I was looking for. Having said that, if the Boss amp top box would have been out at the same time that I needed to buy something for the studio here, which was the aux, because the Boss one is only coming out, I think, next month or maybe in June. If it was out at the same time that I bought this one, I would have looked at that one, and because I think it has a few more features in it. And it's apparently really good because Pete Thorne tried it, Dave Friedman tried it, a few other people reported on having it, you know, in their shops for, you know, reviewing and stuff just to test out, and they said it was really, really good. So I have no doubt that it is. Let's see. Bearded Blues, I'm guessing this is an original from Brian late. Yeah, this is one of the originals from my band SMEER. This was written in 2003, so it's quite a while ago. But I haven't played any of them. Like the SMEER music, if I listened to it today, I would have to relearn all that stuff. And I wrote it. And it's so weird. Like, it's such a long time ago. It was, you know, when the band broke up was 2007. And after that, like I said, I got completely out of music for 10 years by the time that I was even looking at getting back into it. And yeah, I listened to some of my songs here and there. It was in my playlist or whatever. But picking up a guitar, and I'd have to relearn the songs basically, because I know how they go and stuff, but a lot of them are using different tunings. And there's one song that we did, it's called Seed. And I wrote that, and I actually tuned the guitar completely different, and it sounded awesome. Like the song did very well, and it had radio play up here and everything. But I'd have to relearn that whole thing, because I haven't played this stuff in so long. But it's fun to play like this. I enjoy it. I know Eric does that a lot too with his songs. He plays them on his live streams and jams along with them. So this was kind of cool to play this song, because it kind of brought back some of those, you know, feelings of actually when I was, you know, in playing them in the band and writing the song and playing it live and stuff. It was a lot of fun. So that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that. Glad you guys liked it. Let's see. Todd says all of my amps have built-in attenuators. Yeah, a lot of amps these days come with some attenuators built in, right? You can turn it down to 5 watts to 10 or 20 or whatever it comes with. So yeah, there's all kinds of options. I think we're pretty lucky as musicians to have all the options that we have today. Sounds great. Thank you. Thank you. Good. Yeah, the Boss $12.99, is that what they're gonna go for? Okay. The thing I like about the Boss, well, from the specs anyway, the one thing on the aux is, and it doesn't really affect it, but the speaker volume attenuation is actual clicks. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have to adjust. Like I usually set mine to 3, and then I adjust my volumes and everything according to that, and it sounds awesome in here. But the Boss one, there's no clicking, so you can actually, it's actually like a real volume knob, so you can get it exactly where you want it as far as the attenuation and everything. And it has all the built-in pedals, like all the Boss pedals are built in there, so you can use it that way. There's a couple other features on it. You can go, there's something with the direct feed and all. There's a few little different things in it that are pretty cool. With the IRs as well, you can load different IRs. With this, you really can't. You have what comes with it as far as the speaker simulations. They're expected to put out a firmware release soon that's going to include more cabinets and things of that nature, but they haven't released that yet. But I know with Boss, you can actually go and buy like Celestion IRs and stuff and load it into that box. And so there's a little bit more flexibility with that one, I believe. So that's why I say if you're not in a big hurry to get one, I would wait and try the Boss as well, because you're going to pay, like, they're pretty closely priced, right? $12.99 for the Boss, and I think the aux in the States is probably around that same price. So it just depends. If you can wait a month or so, do that. Let's see. You're old school, Will? Yeah, I'm kind of old school too. But I don't mind trying new things here and there, but I kind of stick to the traditional stuff. Like if you look at my pedal board, it's nothing crazy. It's got a compressor, it's got a booster, it's got a EQ and some delay and reverb. And I've included a chorus lately, and I like it. And the chorus is on right now, but it's very subtle. Like it's not like a real chorusy sound. It's just enough to give it that little extra thickness, I find, and with the distortion and stuff, it sounds good. So it's a Corona, TC Electronics Corona mini pedal that I got that is a chorus, and I've got it set just barely in the mix, so I like it. So as far as being old school, I'm pretty traditional. I play Les Pauls. The Friedman amp is, pretty basic for an amp. It's 2 channels, raw tube power, and it's a good system, I find. Let's see. Yeah, Eric's stream tonight was his original music. Yeah, I know Eric does that a lot, and that's the way to do it. If you've got a lot of originals, you might as well jam them and play those. Geez, yeah, Brian, I learned my old songs from 28 years ago and remastered our 4-track demo with a second. Yeah, that's cool, Trash. Yeah. I don't know if I'd re-record my songs, though. Like, the SMEER music is the SMEER music, and that stays the way it is. Like, I don't think I would, like that song I just played, I would probably not redo it, like 2018 version or 2019, like we're in 2019 now, so 2019 version or anything like that. That's that's the song, and that's the way it was written, and that's kind of how I'm probably going to keep it. But that's cool if you can do that. Will says, wow, I can use a Corona. Yeah, is it yeah, it is Corona, the pedal. It's the same as the beer. Brian, if you get a hold of a Boss CE2 chorus, you'll be in heaven. Yeah, and they didn't have it at the store. I asked for it when I was trying, because I went in last Saturday to get the distortion pedal and the chorus pedal, and I had a bunch of chorus pedals in front of me that I was trying, and they had one Boss pedal, but it wasn't the CE2. It was Ensemble maybe, or something like that, and it was okay, but this Corona thing did everything I was looking to do. It was a small size and it was cheaper too. So, but I did want to try that Boss CE2. They just didn't have one in stock, but I've heard a lot of good things about that pedal. So yeah, I'm sure you can't go wrong with that. Gussie, I'm starting to develop a mic obsession, unfortunately. Yeah, don't get into that world, Gussie, because you're just going to go down a rabbit hole and you're never going to get out. Let's put it that way. I stay with the tried and true as far as mics. I have an SM57 that I use on my cab, and that's pretty much what I swear by. And I've got a condenser mic. I've got an SM27 Shure mic that I can use for vocals, and I can use for acoustic guitars and stuff like that. But other than that, that's pretty much. I have another one that is a Sennheiser. Can't see the model number from here, but it's primarily, it has a lot of low end, like it can handle low end. So if I had a bass amp and I wanted to mic that speaker, I would probably use that mic. But right now I've been tracking all my bass direct, and I have an Eden preamp that I use, and I've been getting along fine with that. But if I ever, brought an 8x10 cabinet in here and an Ampeg head and I wanted to mic that cab, I would probably use that Sennheiser mic that's made for that low end frequency. You can also mic bass drums on a drum and stuff. They're made for that frequency. But yeah, if you get into the mic world, you're looking for trouble. Oh great, my iPad's got low battery. All right, folks, well, I've been going for quite a while. Yeah, almost 2 hours. Woo! And I just came in here to just do a quick testing these in-ears are working pretty good. I got to see how much battery I've got left, because it works on AA battery as a pack here, but it's transmitting okay. I haven't had any cutouts. The sound is so-so. The guy at the store that I deal with said, because it wasn't a real expensive setup. It's more of a cheaper one, but he says if you update the earbuds to, like, better ones or whatever, it's going to improve the sound quite a bit. These ones sound okay, but I can see what he was saying. The low end resonance and stuff isn't the greatest on these ones. But Denny says, are the other members of SMEER still playing music? The only member of SMEER that's playing music right now is the drummer. The drummer is playing. He didn't stop after the band. He joined another band. He's playing right now, I think he's playing in 3 bands. He's playing in a couple of tribute bands, an Aussie tribute, a Whitesnake tribute, I think, and what else? A Black Sabbath thing. So yeah, he's more of a hired gun that he plays with a bunch of different people when they need him. So he hasn't stopped. But the singer doesn't play anymore. I wanted to work with the singer again, because he's a really good singer. And but when the band quit, he kind of took a break as well, and he hasn't wanted to get back in. I think he's when I asked him, I sent him some of my originals that I wrote last year just for fun, to see if he would like to try, to come here and record some vocals or whatever. But I think he's lost his confidence or something, because he didn't seem to be wanting to do it, or he's like, I don't know if I can do it anymore, and blah blah blah. So I didn't push the fact. I just said, okay, well, if you ever feel like trying something or doing something, let me know, and come to my house. I've got the studio set up, and we can run through some stuff and just have fun. Nothing serious. But I think he's just doing his own thing. He's not really into music anymore. And the guitarist, haven't seen him for a long time. After the band broke up, we lost touch, and he's gone. I think he moved away, and he's doing his own thing. So yeah, so the only guy that's still playing in a band wise is the drummer. And I've been asked, since starting again, I've been asked by the drummer to to do something with him or to join some of the bands that he's playing with if they're looking for a rhythm guitarist or something. But like I said, I'm not looking to do that right now. I'm pretty content doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I have no qualms about someday, going to jam with somebody or something like that. That's no problem. But getting in a full-time band and touring and all that stuff, I don't know. It would have to be the right project, obviously. Jason, you're back. You could do a SMEER giveaway if you had any CDs. All the CDs are sold, so everything we're selling now is all digital. So we sold out of all our CDs. CD Baby still had a bunch, I believe, just 2 years ago or whatever. And then one of our songs was picked to go into a movie, not just an independent movie. And after that, the CDs were sold. So obviously whoever was watching the movie liked the song and went and bought the CDs. So we don't have any more CDs. Let's see. All right, so I'm just going to jam one more tune, and we'll call it an evening. Thanks for coming in and joining me tonight, guys. That was really cool of you. A SMEER campaign, yeah. I don't know if I can even play anything else from here, because I think the tunings are different. Creepy was a cool song. I don't know, Brad said that, but I don't know. Let me try it just for fun. I don't know if I remember it. Yeah, it's tuned one step lower, so let me do that with my little drop pedal here. That's weird when you put that drop pedal and you hear it through your headphones, but if you still hear your strings are tuned to 440 and that's 2.5 step down, so it's kind of weird. So let me, I gotta shut the mic off for sure for that. Wow, that was interesting. Damn, I haven't played that in maybe 12 years. Holy jeez. That is weird. Oh my god. Okay, anyway. That song is called Creepy. And and I played it pretty creepily. I was trying to figure out the chords as I was playing it because I didn't remember some of them. Wow. That was fun. Let's put it that way. That was fun. But yeah, I'd have to relearn a lot of these songs, man, because I haven't played them in so long. But I don't think it would take me too long to get them all back down because, like I said, once I started playing this, it started coming back because I wrote all these things, so they started to come back. Let's see. Great show tonight, all my buddies here on YouTube. Many thanks, everyone. Yeah, have a good holiday weekend, everybody. And thanks for jumping in. I was going to ask how you like that pedal. Seems a better option for me than buying another guitar just tuned down. Yeah, I really like that pedal actually. Like, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's great for these types of things when you just want to jam and you have a track or a song that you're jamming along to that's tuned half step down or a full step or whatever. Like this is down to C. Right, and I didn't have to retune my guitar. I just click the pedal and it does it. So the only thing you have to remember is you can't hear your strings when you're playing. So if you're playing loud enough, it doesn't matter. And it tracks really good. There's no like latency. A lot of these pedals, because this is a digitally reproduced pitch shifter, and if a glorified pitch shifter is what this is, sometimes you can get a pedal or an effect like that where you're actually playing and it's not tracking exactly at the same time as your pick. That becomes really weird. But this one is pretty dead on. Like I haven't had any experiences where I feel like I'm trying to catch up or it's latency wise it's bad. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. I like that pedal a lot. It's called the Drop pedal and it's by Digitech who makes it. And I use it all the time. If I'm jamming along to tracks, I'll put on a playlist on my phone or on YouTube or whatever, and I'll just be jamming along, and sometimes I'll play something and, oh, this is a half step down. I just hit that switch and off you go. You don't have to worry about it. And just for what I did here, like having to tune down 2 full steps down and then drop D and all that, I just hit that pedal and I was able to do it. But if I was recording, let's say, I want to record an original and it's going to be in drop C or whatever, I would tune my guitar to that. I wouldn't use the pedal to kind of simulate that tuning or whatever. But for this type of stuff, just jamming, it's perfect. Yeah, okay, that's cool. What pedal is he? Yeah, Bearded Blues Dude. It's called the Drop. If you look online and just type in Digitech Drop pedal, you'll see it. It's a very popular pedal for this type of thing. Cool song. Thanks. Yeah, that was that's one of the first songs I wrote with the band. I think it was. Yeah, that one and trying to think the other ones. There's another one called Condemned that those were kind of my first songs with SMEER. Let's see. Yeah, the tuning pedal is really cool. So I did an actual. If you look back on my videos, I think it was one of my live streams, my first live streams, and I do a quick little feature on it and show it. I'm trying to remember which live stream. It might be in the title. So if you look at my past live stream, I think it was like one of the very first ones of the year. So probably episode 2 or 3 or something like that. I go and I more in depth into that pedal and show it to you and stuff. So just go back to those episodes and you'll probably see it. Brad says, Brian, sorry, didn't mean to throw you under the bus. No, you didn't throw me under the bus, man. It's all good. I have to try these songs, man. Even if I don't know them or I don't remember them, I'll get through them. I don't have any problem playing this stuff in front of you guys and screwing up, and that doesn't bother me at all. It's kind of funny though that songs you wrote and you played so many times, and then you don't play them for, like I said, probably over 12 years. I haven't played this song, and you play it back again. It's like, wow, okay, and now I'm starting to remember it, and as I'm playing, it's starting to come back to me, right? So that, but these songs, again, SMEER was not a band that was pretty, like, it was heavy rock, very much groove orientated, like good riffs with good grooves, but it wasn't like a big solo-ish type of band where you would have like these crazy guitar solos or any of that stuff. You got to remember that the time we were playing, the SMEER was playing, was, we started in 98 really, and we started as a cover band, and we played a lot of covers, and we kind of, like, we started writing our own songs, I think only 2001, I'm gonna say, and we just started slowly. We wrote a few songs and we would put them in our set when we were playing. We played a lot of cover gigs and stuff, so we would throw them in the set here and there, and we'd play them and get comfortable. And in 2003, we went and we had about 5-6 songs that we were comfortable with, and we went and recorded a little EP or whatever. But during that time, when you're talking 2003 to 2007, the music that was out there, that solos and things like that were not really that prevalent. You're looking at bands like Godsmack, Disturbed, Drowning Pool, these types of bands, very good heavy riff groove types of bands, but not really known for playing the long solos or things like that. So SMEER music, you're not going to hear like crazy lead guitar playing and things of that nature. There's still a lot of good melodic solos and guitars and stuff, but not to the point where you're getting Yngwie Malmsteen stuff. So let's see. Just gonna go down here a little bit, make sure you guys are cool, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Bearded Dude says, should have got the Robo Tuners on my Gibson. No, you don't want to get Robo Tuners, man. Don't do it. You don't need Robo Tuners. It comes back quick and fun. Yeah, Trash, I agree. I'll probably be playing more SMEER stuff, just, to get back, just jamming and stuff like this. It's cool, so. Hey, Eric, how's it going, man? I didn't know you were streaming earlier. I had no idea you were streaming tonight. Sorry about that. I just came on to do some testing with some of the equipment. I bought these new in-ears and stuff, and I wanted to try how it would sound and with the new amp and stuff, and I just went live just to do a test, and then people started showing up, so pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't know you were streaming, man. Sorry about that. And it says drop D, drop C, whole step, 6 strings. Yeah. EVH and Zach Thong's in here. Johnny Bean, what's going on, brother? Let's go back down. Scott Connor says he just added the drop pedal to the old want list. Yeah, that's what happens when you watch these streams and guys are showing some gear or whatever. You start, oh well, that's a good idea, maybe I want that piece of gear, or maybe I want to try that, and then all of a sudden you notice your want list has grown by quite a bit just by watching all these shows. You get different ideas of what you could get or what you could try. Ah well, it's part of the fun. It doesn't hurt to want something. It hurts when you have to take your wallet out and actually go pay for it. That's the big the big problem. Cool down yet? So you must have been jamming there, Eric. Yeah, starting to cool down. Awesome. Hope your internet is working better. That's kind of a bummer that you couldn't get those shows last week. I was really looking forward to that. Who was it? Alex Skolnick from Testament. I love his guitar playing, so I hope you can get him on the show soon. and do a redo on that one. That sucked that he couldn't get that one going. All right. Cool. So are you doing a live show tomorrow, Eric? Scott Connor said, you said it, Brian. Yeah, this iPad's about to die. Wow, that's weird. I'm tuned down. Well, using the pedal, the drop pedal, it's put me down to C. And I think it's C. Yeah, that's a C. So let's see what that sounds like, right? That's pretty cool. I'm tuned to C, but my guitar has a tension and the string tension of just regular tuned at 440, which is kind of a weird feeling because you're playing and you're expecting a different feel to your string tension, but yeah, it's kind of weird. But hey, it's fun, man. That's what it's all about, right? Just have some fun, try different things, just you know, make it work for you. Okay, cool. Alex is coming back. You said, cool. Let's see, what do we got? Johnny says Skolnick is an old friend. He used to teach lessons at a shop I worked at the 90s. Cool. You know, I love his playing, man. He's an amazing guitar player. Testament was one of those bands that came out, you know, back in the thrash days, and I thought they should have had more respect than they actually did. Like, to me, they were in the top 4 as far as the thrash metal bands, to me, because I really like their stuff. Yeah. Alex played heritage guitars. Did he? Oh yeah. I don't know what he plays now. What is it? Maybe Ibanez? I'm not sure what he plays. Classic Sabbath in C sharp. Yeah. I met blues when I was 15, Johnny says. Cool. Testament. Yeah, he was in Testament, Jason. The other guitarist that's in Testament is, what's his name? Oh, God. No, I can't remember his name. But he's an awesome rhythm guitarist, man. Holy shit. Some of the riffs he writes and his technique, like his picking technique and stuff. Solid guy. What is his name? And somebody put it in the chat. I can't remember. Ask Brad says, ask Blues. Ask him what it was like getting kicked off Poison bus mid-tour loops. Did in use outside voice. Oops, oh, sorry, your spell check must have gone funky on me. Johnny Bean says, I played his Testament Ibanez. Yeah, I thought he was an Ibanez guy for a while. And he played my EVH Music Man. He left the band in the 90s. And yeah, he did leave for a while, and he was doing some other stuff. He was doing some, not even metal stuff for a while. He was like doing some jazzy type of stuff. Like, he's a really good guitar player. He can play pretty much anything. Testament, Practice What You Preach. Yeah, that was my favorite album from them. Practice What You Preach. Souls of Black was awesome. I saw the tour when they did Souls of Black, and I love the bass tone in that album. They're like Death Angel was a cool band too. Scott Connor says Testament also did a really good cover of Queen's Dragon's Attack on a recent album. Really? Didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah, he's with ESP. That's right. He's with ESP now. I know he did play Ibanez for a while. Alex is the one that got Jen Marge. Oh, he did. He got Jen the gig in Evanescence. Cool. Yes, ESP. Okay, cool. Peterson. Scott says Peterson. Yeah, that's Eric Peterson. That's what it is. Yeah. That guy is amazing rhythm guitarist. I'm sure he plays great leads, but he's known for his riffs and his picking technique and stuff. Is really solid player. Okay, take care, Todd. Thanks for jumping in. My iPad's about to die, so I'm going to have to switch and look at that screen if I'm going to finish off the night here. Johnny Bean says, Alex and I used to talk on the phone when I lived in Miami. He had just moved to New York. Really? Cool. The only guy I spoke to on the phone, spoke to him for probably an hour and a half, was Dave Ellefson from Megadeth. And I told that story like back on an early stream that I did when I was playing with SMEER. We had sent out our demos to some companies in LA and different places around, and he had affiliation with one of the, maybe BMI or somebody, but he was starting his own like little label, and he was producing bands and stuff. And I had sent our CDs over there, not expecting anything actually. And we were out one night, I played a gig, and I came home, and back then we didn't have cell phones and stuff. This was 2003, 2004 area, and we had an old style answering machine. You press play and the cassette, all that really old style. And I came home, the light was flashing on the answering machine, and I hit play, and it was a message from David Ellefson from Megadeth, and I was like, oh my God, I was freaking out. and he had left a message for me to call him back because he had received our demo and he wanted to talk to me about possibly working with us and producing and stuff. So I called him back. I was super nervous, I remember, and super nice guy, and we talked for over an hour and a half, talked about all kinds of things. I was asking him all kinds of questions about Megadeth. He had left Megadeth at that point. He wasn't even playing. I think Megadeth had taken a break. Dave Mustaine had something with his wrist or arm or something, and there was some other drama going on, and he kind of went into a little bit of detail with it, which I didn't ask him to, but he felt like talking, I guess. But it was awesome, and had a really good discussion. Talked about bass and amps. Obviously, I'm a bass player, and I was talking to one of my childhood idols that I watched, seen him in concert and saw tons of videos of them. Megadeth, their bass tone is amazing, and he's a good bass player. So it was fun. But what happened with that whole producing thing? He was living in Arizona, so he would have had to basically move to Toronto for a month to produce the album, and the record company we were with at the time was just a small independent. They weren't willing to shell out the expense of having him produce the album and paying all the, as it comes, you have to pay all the lodging and meals and his fee and all that stuff. They weren't willing to do that, so they got a local producer here in Toronto to do it. So kind of a bummer. I would have loved to have worked with him because he has a lot of experience, and he was kind of on the same page as we were as far as our ideas, and really liked our music, and maybe something might have happened with that, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. But that was one of the only guys that I talked to that were of that level that I had a phone conversation with. Let's see. Yeah, Scott says a lot of rhythm guitars in classic thrash metal are solid players. Absolutely. Scott, Ian, perfect example. Nita is awesome. My favorite of hers when she met Jason Becker. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Eric says he'll have him back on the show 2 weeks again so everyone can ask. Cool. Good to hear. Dave Ellefson just released an LP with the... Yes, I saw an interview with them. They were actually doing something like they played on a stage. They were talking, I think it was maybe at the MI Institute or the Music Institute in California. There's a video of it on YouTube where they're doing some question and answer, and they played some songs and stuff. That's kind of cool. Never met him, but Dave Ellefson, he's a really nice guy. He really is. Hi, Harmony. How's it going? Welcome. Okay, folks. It's 12:07. I've been going for 2 hours. I can't believe that. I just came on here to do a quick test with these in-ears, and I ended up doing a whole 2-hour chat and jam and all this fun stuff. So I'd like to say thanks to everybody for coming in. I'll do a more of a quicker, better review of the amp once I get everything settled in here, and I'll let you guys know when I find out about these pedals that I'm trying with the Caverns pedal, the reverb delay, and all that good stuff, right? And I hope you guys had fun. And I really like the new Les Paul. It's definitely become my favorite guitar that I've ever owned, and I've played it non-stop since getting it last Sunday. Like I said, I touched my Friedman Strat. That's the only other guitar I touched since getting this one. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'm really bonding with this guitar. I love it. So that's a good thing, and I'm glad that worked out. And yeah, so that's all I got for you tonight, folks. Monday's show will be at 7 o'clock. We'll do a regular show then. I'll post it here soon. I didn't set up the event for it, but I'll set it up tomorrow, and then you should get notifications of that. On the weekend, if I have a chance, I might go live and just do a quick thing if nobody else is streaming, and if I have nothing to do, or if I want to test something, because I'm still setting up some new stuff in here, trying to get the setup dialed in. I think my tone and everything, I've got it to 90% to where I think I like it and where it should be. So So yeah, it's all good. Again, thank you for joining me, and we will talk soon. All right? And I'll leave you with a drop C riff.